In today's episode, I'm going to talk you through 3 quick 5-minute tasks that will reduce the clutter in your home.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ronnie.
And I'm Jessica.
And you're listening to Clean With Me,
the podcast where we walk you through cleaning your house.
The first thing you're going to do is grab a trash bag. Okay, maybe you want to take out your kitchen trash and reline it and carry that wastebasket around. But better yet, just grab a trash bag that you can carry with you through the house for the next 4 or 5 minutes. Okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to just fill that up with trash. And right now you may be saying, Ronnie, I don't have that much trash in my house. Trust me, you do. You just need to know where to look. Okay? First of all, you may have some trash in your kitchen. Maybe on the counters you might have paper plates, food packaging, things like that. And I want you to move quickly. The idea is to fill that bag as quickly as possible. And you might have already found some trash to be throwing away, or maybe you still need ideas. But I encourage you while you're listening to just be moving through your house looking for trash. Maybe you've got some empty water bottles on your nightstand. Maybe you've got some debris under your couch cushions. Another thing you can do is actually move a couch. If you're physically able to do so without hurting yourself, move the couch. You would be surprised, no matter how good of a housekeeper you are, if you move your couches or remove the cushions or move your piano, if it's easy to move, mine's on wheels. The clutter that ends up falling behind these pieces of furniture is unreal sometimes. So I encourage you to look for surface trash plus move some stuff. Another place you can go when just trying to fill a trash bag is your bathroom drawer, your makeup drawer. Okay? Let's face it, some of that stuff's expired, and I'm not a stickler. I realize things like eyeshadows and lipsticks we can use for a while, but certain things like foundation, liquid foundation, concealer, mascara, those definitely get old quick and need to be tossed. So, whether it's 3 months, 6 months, whatever your personal rule is, you may have some makeup that is quite a bit older than that. Another thing you can do when walking around with a large wastebasket or a trash bag is to empty smaller trash containers into that bag. Your little bathroom trashes can be dumped into a larger bag. Maybe you have wastebaskets elsewhere in a bedroom or in an office. Just rush through your house, throwing away as much stuff as you can. I'm not talking about making hard decisions, but I'm talking about things that you don't want. And let's face it, if you're home alone, you don't have to answer to anybody. Now, I'm not talking about throwing away another adult's personal belongings or something that belongs to an older child or teenager that may have sentimental value. But I'm talking about throwing away things of yours that maybe you're embarrassed to throw away in front of somebody else. It's your stuff, and what they don't know won't hurt them, okay? Sometimes we don't even like throwing away our own stuff in front of other people. I don't know if anybody else can relate to that. It feels wasteful, and you're already dealing with your own guilt over buying something that you're going to toss or whatever. And don't get me wrong, if something is perfectly good, you can donate it. But I don't make a big deal about that because I have what's called a donation station. In the back of my closet, there's a cardboard box. If I come across something that's donatable, but I want to toss it, my way of trashing it is putting it into that box. It's just a simple cardboard box in the back of my closet. You may have a different system. then I deal with it later. My kids had some type of a community service thing at their school last year where they were working at a thrift store that was also a charity, of course. Most thrift stores are. And when I dropped them off with a bag of things that I had been storing in my donation station in the back of my closet. So when I talk about tossing things, yes, some things you might want to donate, but let's face it, a lot of stuff we can just trash. Oftentimes there's obvious trash in our homes. So hopefully you've filled up that bag. If you're on a roll and you're just excited about it, you can keep doing the same step for the entire episode. Some days I measure my success in trash bags. Other days I just do a little bit. Today I filled up one kitchen-sized bag of random things in my closet. I haven't cleaned out my closet in a while, and there were some damaged shoes and things like that. Don't donate your junk. Things that are no good, I will toss. Sometimes it's okay not to do the absolute perfect thing, because if you're just hanging on to clutter out of guilt, that's not helping anyone either. Okay? But let's face it, if you have kind of an area that has become a dumping ground, whether it's your walk-in closet or just some surface in your home, some table, some shelf, I don't know. But sometimes we just put stuff somewhere because we don't know what to do with it, and it's actually trash. So if you want to keep going on that step, that's fine. But some of you filled your bag. You're taking it out to the outdoor trash right now, or tying the bag in a knot and putting it by the front door, and you're ready to move on. The next thing I want you to do, because decluttering isn't only about getting rid of stuff, is spend 5 minutes organizing your worst room. There is probably a room in your house that kind of gets neglected. In a lot of our episodes, we focus on your front entrance area, your living areas, and your kitchen. And then we have special episodes for bathrooms. We have special episodes for your bedroom. But there's probably an area that you kind of neglect. I suspect that it's either your bedroom, a spare bedroom, or maybe a laundry room, or maybe your walk-in closet. I'll count that as a room. Okay? If you have a walk-in closet, sometimes it can feel like a messy room when the floor starts to get cluttered. When I clean out my closet every few months or so, I will completely pick up the floor. I'll make sure all the shoes are in the shoe rack. I'll get rid of broken hangers, and I'll thin down my wardrobe a little bit, and maybe put that donatable stuff in the trunk of my car, the back of my car, so to speak. It doesn't really have a trunk, but you know what I mean. When I was a kid, we called that the way back. I don't know if anybody else says that, but I think it was just a thing in our family. Anyway, I'm asking you to just do a 5-minute pickup in the worst room of your house. It may be your bedroom. It may be a spare bedroom. It may be a kid's bedroom. Maybe it's not something that's been procrastinated. I mean, with a kid's room, you could have cleaned it a couple days ago and it's already a disaster. And of course, I'm talking about young children that are not able to clean their own rooms. Sometimes with an older kid, you need to kind of talk them through the process of cleaning their room. You can either plop down on their bed and tell them what to pick up, or you can maybe give them a time limit and let them know that you're going to be checking under the bed or in the closet. Okay? You've got to be specific. Otherwise, they may just stuff everything. Or they may just punish you by putting everything in, like, the laundry hamper and you see stuff that you know they haven't worn or whatever. Yeah, sometimes that's the price you have to pay for them to clean their room, is to like wash all their laundry again. But I digress. Hopefully you're picking up right now. I like to include, although, the show is kind of routine in some ways, I like to kind of include some type of a new thought into each episode. And so what I wanted to talk about, there's been a scientific study that when you force yourself to do something that you really don't want to do, it kind of expands a certain area of your brain. I may not be articulating the science just right, but basically it helps prevent mental decline when you do things you don't always want to do. Have you ever just daydreamed about, if I won the lottery or if I had more money, I would hire someone to clean, I would hire someone to cook? Or even if you're in a position where you can actually afford to hire someone to clean your house, you kind of don't want to, but yet you don't like doing it. And why is that? Well, you don't want to necessarily, and I'm not saying, don't get me wrong, I don't want you to misunderstand me here. Hiring someone to clean your house does not make you a failure or anything. I get it. I did it once. Okay. But there may be a part of you, if you're like a lot of us, that would feel like a failure. Like you want a clean house, but you don't want to hire someone to do it. You want the feeling of accomplishment that comes with doing it yourself. I think one of the reasons why people who are wealthy are not as happy as we expect them to be is because they spend their time doing exactly what they want to do. They are not challenging themselves enough. There's something about pushing through something that you didn't want to do. You feel good afterwards, and a relatively new study shows that it is actually good for your brain. And just because something's hard and you do it doesn't mean it's going to have that same effect on your brain. It's a thing where it's something that you didn't really want to do. And then it's also more beneficial if you're not forced to do it. So it's the self-discipline that is the key to it. Okay. That's what's basically helping you, is the actual self-discipline of pushing yourself to do something that is unenjoyable. I say that you don't want to do it. On some level, you do. Okay? We all want to clean our house, but we don't feel like doing it. That's what I'm getting at there. Hopefully, you are picking up the worst area, or you've finished picking up the worst area of your room. With any of these steps, you can just keep doing them, because I want you to just be moving and to be decluttering. But if you're ready to switch gears at this point, it might be time to fold and put away a residual load of laundry. This one's not going to apply to everyone, because we all have different household weaknesses, or I don't know what episode you listened to before this, or what you've already done, or if you do laundry on a certain day of the week. I just watched a video recently about having 2 laundry days. I think that might be the happy medium that I'm looking for. I tend to try to do laundry every day, and then it doesn't always happen. Weekly definitely isn't often enough. That would be too long of a turnaround time, I think, for certain key items. But maybe the happy medium is twice a week. Okay, so maybe you have a laundry day. This isn't it. I get that. But if you have a residual pile of clean laundry that you didn't fold as soon as it came out, now's the time to do that. Alternatively, we were talking about donation bags, donation boxes. You could look for some things to fill a donation bag. Okay, if you don't have any more trash in your house, you don't have obvious trash, but you want to thin down in some area, whether it's thinning down something in your linen closet or thinning out a drawer, thinning out things that are hanging in the closet. One thing that I've heard of is that if you tend to be kind of living out of a clean laundry pile and you've been behind on that for a while, the items that are remaining in your drawers might be things that you don't like very much and you're not wearing those. Okay. Another place you could look is the kitchen for duplicates. Be careful here because sometimes you get rid of a duplicate in the kitchen and then you end up needing it. So it just kind of depends on the item. You know, certain things, if you're always having trouble finding the can opener, maybe keep 2 of them. Okay. But you may have triplicates, okay, of something. Typically, these charities that take clothing also take kitchen items. So that would be something that could go in a donation pile. You may come across obvious trash when you're looking for things to donate. So you could do both. My tip for that is when you're throwing away trash at the same time as putting things in a donation bag for your containers to look different. Like you could have a black bag for trash and a white bag for stuff you're keeping, or the donations could go into a cardboard box and the trash can go into a bag, and so on. Because if you're like me and you're scatterbrained, you could get confused, like, wait, which one is this? By the way, special thanks to my financial supporters who support the show either on Patreon or Apple Podcasts or some other way. Some people have paid on Venmo, Cash App, through Spreaker. And I think the bonus episodes will really help. But most of all, just keep listening. I hope you got some decluttering done during this episode. I appreciate each and every one of you. And as always, happy cleaning. I'll talk to you in the next episode.